Hi, everyone. Thank you for watching. By law, I have to tell you that this is for entertainment purposes only. All videos are property of Psychic Liz Cross, LLC.
Welcome, everybody. It's Mr. Reality and Psychic Medium Liz Cross, and we're here on Saturday, February 7th at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Everybody wants to know about the Nancy Guthrie case, Liz, so I thought we'd spend a couple minutes and see if we could figure out some answers for folks. How are you?
Yeah, ready to do this. I know we were waiting just to see if we had a little bit more information to poke around with. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we're going to ask a couple of questions. Incidentally, for people, there are about 600,000 missing person cases in the United States or kidnappings in the United States. And 95% of those are resolved every year. So that's a strong statistic I found out. There aren't that many that are unsolved, allegedly. So I thought we could I kind of feel like this woman here, Kathy Howard, says I'm about to go watch Law and Order SVU so I can figure out this Nancy Guthrie case because I kind of feel the same way. It's an ongoing, very weird, very strange circumstances. We're not getting information, but people are just repeating nothing, right? So how do we go about finding information from a point of view that might give us better information? I thought we could take a look at the sheriff here in the case.
Hmm.
Where is he? How is he doing under this? He seems like he's very stressed. He was under, I saw him with tears and sadness. So, how's he doing there?
How is the sheriff doing here? Chris Nanos, how is he doing? He is under so much stress and pressure from where? From the FBI. The police department or the sheriff's department botched a lot of things. They did so many things wrong. Securing the crime scene was wrong. Preserving evidence was wrong. They are in a lot of trouble.
Are they in trouble
They
with the FBI or with their own agency or
Are they in
family?
trouble with the FBI? The FBI, federal agencies that are looking into this, and they're asking questions like, why didn't you do this? And why didn't you do that? And didn't you think to do this? And what on earth possessed you to do that? And it's a whole catalog of errors here, and
S-
it's really hindering the investigation.
Yeah, it struck me as odd that the FBI wasn't immediately involved within the first, 5 hours of the missing persons case. So, how long did it take them to get involved, and at whose request were they involved?
How long did it take the FBI? Well, they were involved on the day. They committed to, being involved, but it took them a while to rally up a response. They have to get dedicated officers, dedicated teams that specialize in this, forensics. And so by the time that they descended upon in full team mode, it took them a while. And again, that a lot of evidence, crucial evidence, was lost.
Okay. Would that have helped the investigation had that been secured in a better way?
Would that have helped the investigation? I mean, look, I'm asking the sheriff. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. They've never really had something like this before, such high profile. I mean, they're used to making a lot of errors and it just gets swept under the carpet or swept under the rug, right? It doesn't, nobody holds them accountable for their errors, but now they're being held accountable. Even the state or the county is talking about withholding funding because of the errors. So he's in hot water.
Are they collaborating now, or has this been taken over jurisdictionally by the FBI?
Are you collaborating with the FBI? No, if they're doing, the FBI is in control. They are briefing the sheriff and the investigators, but really this has been taken over now.
Okay.
Sort of the sheriff is the spokesperson, is what I'm getting at the moment. They're keeping him as the spokesperson, but I feel what I am getting very strongly on is the FBI are withholding a lot of information because they know how to do this. They don't want the information getting out. They don't trust the sheriff's department. So a lot of the information is not being, cross-pollinated between the agencies.
And I don't want to overstep the boundaries of them by saying anything that would impede the investigation either, because we want that to move along slowly with a great resolve at the end, right? So that's
Mm.
our hope and our ask. How is the family holding up right now?
How, Guthrie. So let's ask Savannah Guthrie. How are you holding up? Oh my God, she is a absolute nervous wreck, obviously, right? You don't need to be psychic to tell you that, to know that. But have they briefed you on any suspects? No. Do you have any theories or any suspects in mind? Yes, she has a couple. Okay. Do you believe that this is a close relative that is involved here at all? Now, her personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions today at February 7th, 2026, just after 4 p.m., she is saying no.
Okay. Does
Do
she
you believe?
feel that, I mean, I can't imagine the emotional turmoil that she must be going through, that the family must be going through. So our hearts go out and our hearts ache for them for sure, regardless of whatever position she holds or, politically, it's not important when something like this happens. It's everyone's mother is the most important person in their life. So I feel just horrible about this for her. Is she hopeful right now, or is she just putting on a strong face because the FBI is telling her to be hopeful?
Are you hopeful? No, she's not hopeful at all. Now what about these ransom notes? Do you believe that they're true? She has no idea. She does not know. Have they said to you about any suspects whatsoever? No. Do you believe that your brother-in-law could be a suspect? She's kind of throwing her hands up in the air, going, anybody at this point.
Yeah. So there was a post earlier that her mother's Facebook had been found, and she was very vocal critic of the Trump administration of the ICE policies, that she donated a lot of money to these actions. I don't know if the posts were hers or just repost, but is there any angle from the mother's point of view that her donations to anti-immigration groups made her a target?
As in, like, oh, there's a lot of money coming from here.
Right. Maybe.
Have these, I'm going to channel the husband, Charles Guthrie. Is there anything to say that she was targeted because of these donations and her being vocal about anti-ICE and anti-Trump? No, that's a no.
Okay. And I know people are shouting at you right now, Liz, asking why don't we just channel the mother? But you explained to me earlier that if she is in a state of, drunkenness or um, under
Sedation,
drugs or
yeah.
under influence, that it won't be able to tell whether or not she's alive or dead, that she could be in and out of drifting in consciousness. And so it makes it more difficult for you as a psychic to determine if they're alive or not, right?
Right. So when someone is potentially, and this could be the case, right? Heavily sedated, when someone is severely under the influence of drugs or even alcohol or whatever, their consciousness detaches from their body and it floats around. So I could end up channeling her and I could sit here and say, oh, by the way, she's not alive when she is alive because maybe they have her heavily sedated. And so I'm not willing to go there yet, but I will at some point.
Okay. Is there any cross connection with the Mexican authorities that the FBI is currently pursuing that might help bring this case to a resolution?
FBI, are you checking in Mexico? Yes, they have been checking like the logs and things of people crossing over Have you found anything? No, they have not found anything of any trace of Nancy Guthrie crossing over into the Mexican border. No.
Is it just because they're not very thorough, I guess, in tracking? Or, I mean, that seems like a dead end then, but it seems like the best lead for them to follow.
Or is it because you're not? No, I mean, they can only go with what, so they can only check the logs and registrations and things like that. I'm asking the FBI, do you have any leads whatsoever? I mean, they do have a couple of leads. And what about, is there a lead on this white van? Yep, they're looking into this white van. Do you believe it's a strong possibility that this white van was involved? Oh, they believe that this white van was involved.
It seems like you should stay away from white vans. I mean, all kids should take that advice, right? They, here's a time statistic of missing persons this year, and we can go back to last year as well and see where people are mostly abducted. Most abductions happen in California and Arizona, and in
Mm.
Texas and New York. Um, Only I think about 15% of those are trafficking cases. So at this stage,
Successful. Even though the whole country is looking for this lady, they feel successful.
what
Now,
is, go ahead.
sorry, the ransom notes. Did you send a ransom note? They did. There's been many ransom notes sent, though, and most of them are fake.
Yeah, there was another person who proclaimed that they had sent a ransom note and they were immediately captured and arrested. And what motivates that sicko to do that?
What motivates them to do that person who it was an opportunity to see if they could make some money. I mean, look, there's going to be opportunists, right? That are sending fake ransom notes that want money in Bitcoin and believe that all of that is untraceable. Let's ask the FBI, do you believe the ransom notes to be legitimate? Yes, they do believe one ransom note right at this point in time is somewhat legitimate.
Is Satoshi cooperating with the authorities? Not that anyone knows who Satoshi is to help unmask this Bitcoin address.
Oh, right. Have you sent any Bitcoin to that wallet? I believe they have. Are you in negotiations with the alleged hostage takers? They believe to be. So they believe they're in contact with them. And do you believe them to be close by? No.
Okay. Uh, they are in direct communication with them, though. That's, I guess, a fair sign for folks out there.
You are in direct communication with these captors. They believe so, yes. And do you have any evidence that she is still alive? There's possibly some video evidence at the moment. They're analyzing it to make sure it's not, um, AI
Yeah, at this
generated
point,
or.
anything can be a deep fake AI.
Mhm.
I saw a gorilla giving a bath to an elephant the other day, and I thought, that's amazing. And then it wasn't real. So you never know when you're watching a video at this point. Assume everything is
Mhm.
fake.
Right, right. Do you believe that you're closing in on the suspects? They believe so. The FBI says they are. Do you believe that she's still alive? They're not sure.
All right. Where would if we were suggesting to the FBI, not that they're listening, they're always listening, what would we suggest they do to help move this case along speedily? And by we, I mean you.
Oh, you know, There's a neighbor that knows something, but does not want to get involved.
What?
Mm-hmm. I'm getting that very strongly. There's a neighbor that saw something or knows something, and they're scared. They don't want to get involved.
Why don't they want to get involved?
Are they also elderly or I feel they're older and vulnerable. They don't want to get involved. They don't want anything to know. They don't know anything. They're not saying they know anything. They're not saying they saw anything, but they have seen something.
Yeah, I know the area. I know people that have lived in that area, and to give you an idea, there are large estates where you can't see a neighbor. I mean, if the neighbor's 500, 1,000 yards away, you can't see anything. It's just very, it's, you'd think Arizona doesn't have a lot of population or vegetation, but the vegetation up there is so heavy that you could be right next to a house and not even know there's a house there. It's just that dense. And there are a lot of big estates up in that area. Have
Go
they
to the
gone?
brother-in-law, please.
We can do the brother-in-law, right? There's this fellow here who everyone said could possibly be a suspect. Looks like a shady fella. Um, there, here on the left, here is
See that picture right there, right? The way his eyes are cutting to one side. When I mind probe him, he's living a double life. There's a lot that he does that nobody knows about. I'm telling you, I know I've, yeah, I can feel it. There's something to do with money. He's in a lot of debt. I feel that there's a lot of money that's gone missing. He doesn't tell his wife anything. He has a lot of control over her, actually. Um, but he invests in things that don't work out, promises money. Does he have a gambling addiction? I feel he's a bit of a gambler. Yeah, he's living a double life that nobody knows about.
and that will probably come out, or they're just waiting for the resolution to this to charge him and anything.
Do they, let's ask the FBI, do you suspect the son-in-law? Ooh, okay. Well, yes. Why? Yeah, he's shady. I knew that. I knew that. He's shady. He's also withholding information. He's acting like I don't know what you're talking about. I just don't know. They're really looking into him.
Does his wife know anything? Or does she think he's innocent, or
Annie,
she chosen to the course that
hmm,
maybe I married the wrong person?
let's ask, do you suspect your husband? No, she doesn't suspect him. Mm-mm. No. Do you know that he leads a double life? No, no. She's not the kind of person to question him, right? Doesn't ask really where have you been and who are you talking to? And he has a lot of freedom. Um, and do you suspect that that money has gone missing? No. Are you in debt? He says we are. You see, now that answer right there, he says we are. That says to me that he controls the money.
Right, more like an opportunist.
Mm,
What is the life contract like between those two?
what is the life? The FBI are being so tight-lipped. They are close. I feel that they are close to, are they close to, very close. I knew that. Very close to making an arrest. Okay. Um, What is their life like between? Yeah, I've seen they've been together before in past lives. Um, in past lives, he's quite vicious, quite violent. That's very typical of the times back then as well. Um, but that's what I see. But no, he's got another life that this family does not even know about.
All right. Well, everybody out there, we appreciate you. Liz, I appreciate you doing this. I know people are very anxious to hear the resolution of this. Hopefully, we can address this again. We get a chance to talk next week. Hopefully, we'll have a resolution by next week, but I just wanted to get this out there as fast as we could to give people hope and attack it from a different angle. Any
Yeah,
closing questions or queries to people?
yeah, it's just really about what do they know so far, right? That's what we're finding out here because, again, nothing is really being reported with good reason. But what do they know so far? What does the sheriff's department know? What does the FBI know? And obviously, as more things develop, we'll be going into this. But yeah, this
All right.
man on the screen. Oh gosh. Wow, creepy.
Well, thank you
Okay,
very much, Liz. Thanks, everybody out there. We'll see you next time.
thank you.